Hi guys, it's Jessica here with another journal flip through. So for people who are new to my channel or came here because they came for the traveler's notebook and journal flip throughs and that sort of thing. This is typically a doll collector's hobbyist channel, and I talk about my dolls, predominantly ball jointed dolls, but sometimes some other dolls like Blythe dolls. And so this is kind of like my art, crafting, sewing related type channel where I talk about those things, and it's mostly centered around my dolls and the characters that my dolls portray. So just had to get that one to put that out there. Again, this is my cheek sparrow, my creme brulee cheek sparrow. It's in personal size, and I am going to go over the inserts that I have in here. This is going to be the journal flip through for the months of July, August, and part of September. So I kind of slowed down. Like I went through, the June was crammed into a single journal on its own, and so I slowed down a little bit. Mostly that's because my work schedule just kind of went. My summer work schedule was very brutal, to be truthful, and so I didn't do as much doll stuff, I didn't write as much, I didn't do as much of anything, I just was working a lot. So this is again, this is these little they're like little library card holders, little pockets, and I made a bunch of these, and I put pictures that I want to use in my journaling, photographs that I have printed out that I want to use in my journaling, and I stick those in there. So over here is Neela, and she is a Mishi's doll, Dreamy, and she's wearing a little dress that I had made her. And over here is the Wildling, and she is a Lily Cat Colleen, and I didn't make her dress, but I did make her eyes, her wig, and her little antlers and ears, her little hat. So these dolls are, I might have to push them aside a little bit here. Let's see if I can open this up, and we can go to the journal insert that I'm going to go over. It looks like this will all fit in here. So this is the one that we're going to go over next. Again, very thick. I think, yeah, maybe about the same, a little bit thicker. Lots of photos in here, lots of tip-ins, so it makes it very, very thick. So you can see right here, I started out July 2016. It was going to be my Blythe BJD and art journal, and then right down here, I kind of, after the fact, August and September, because I didn't go through it as fast as I anticipated I was because of my work schedule. But so I'll go ahead and start the flip through of this one. And again, it is mostly chronological. Sometimes I go back and I'll go and decorate and work on pages. There's still some things that I might go back and add some drawings or scribblings in here. There's spaces for it. Since I'm in my my A6 size now, I might not do that as much. So that's why I decided to just go ahead and do these journal flip throughs, because I don't think I'm going to be going back to them. So I can they're done. They're as done as they're going to get, really. Okay. Also, we'll say you're probably going to hear my snoring bulldog, who is sleeping at my feet. So that's not me heavy breathing or snoring, usually. It's the bulldog brigade that I have. So so here we go. This was the first page, and kind of the thing that I will do through most of this. There's a lot of the same things as I was doing in the last. I was using washi tape a lot. I was lining each page with washi tape, and watercolor washes on every page. At this point, I upgraded. Most of this is Schminky paints, and it's a mix of my Schminky aquarelle artist grade watercolors and my student grade Cotman Winsor Newton Cotman colors. So at this point, it's a mix of those together. And so the watercolors are I think, darker and more vibrant there. But so this was the first page, basically July 1st. And I had this picture of Herla, who is pregnant because Elowen was going to be on her way. It was also the day that I put her husband's body up for sale. And he sold not too long afterwards because he's upgrading to the Dalshi body. So this was July 1st, and kind of where I got all those things rolling. And I talk about that more in my other videos, but there's the first page there. Here was when I got my Schminke Hordam Aquarelle watercolor set, and I was testing them out for the first time and pretty excited. Let's see. So you can see I have them all crammed in here with my, so if you take out the little spacer thing, and I glued these all, not glued, but used poster tack to put in all these half pans, and so I was able to get, let's see, 24? Is there 20? Yeah, there's 24 in this little tin. I did get an extra pan that I put in here, and I bought a tube of, this is professional grade, so this was an artist grade Winsor & Newton in violet, because I wanted a more, I didn't want to always have to be mixing purple. I wanted a purple. So, but otherwise it's those two sets, and I use them exclusively now. And I can get a lot of the colors that I like. I'd like to get some more watercolors eventually here, but these are serving me very well right now. And so everything from now on is that set with those colors. So here I talk about, in my last journal, I drew the pictures of how I wanted, of what fabrics and colors I wanted his outfit to be, but here was where I sewed Sion's new clothes. And you can see a lot of the same things that I'm doing here is doing these tip-ins that open up with journaling, you know, doing some, I did some more things where I'm like writing around and then having a little journaling spot here, adding pictures on the back. This one is taped in entirely, and I'll start drawing more pictures in these as things go. I start doing that more. Here were some tip-ins, and I didn't do much journaling on this page. Sion in his new outfit that I had put together for him, and here was some little doodles that I drew. This is actually his lion, saber-tooth lion form, which I consider to be his alternate form, is this kind of this giant saber-tooth lion, saber-tooth cat. And then here is Kian, who is a Karen. Because they are still really good buddies, and I think she was the one that kind of took care of him when he first arrived here to Edensphere, because he was a pretty confused guy. This page was pretty cute. Again, lots of pictures. I started not doing this as much in my latest journals. Lots and lots of pictures inserted in on these tip-ins, which really makes the pages not lay flat as you go. But this was a cute spread. What is happening in Edensphere, and I had a little blurb, and this was a nice layout. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can bring it up to the camera. Some illustrations that I did. There is Sion. I hope these are going to be visible. Here is Lark and Lady in their animal forms. So a lot of times they don't necessarily mean that they exist in those forms, but I will I draw animals easier and more naturally than humans. They're always a little more of a struggle for me. So Lark is a human, and he doesn't necessarily have an animal form that he can actually turn into, but I drew him as a lark bird in this picture because I wanted to draw animals. So that's that. I don't know if you could see any of that very well, hopefully. Here was when my last life doll, my Velvet Minuet, came in. She was an SBL. She has so much amazing stock, and I drew, again, I just, in an animal drawing mood, drew this little bunny, inspired by her little bunny outfit that she has. And here was the beginning, I don't have a date on this, was a little romance between Amelia and Sion. I think of it more at this point. I do think Sion's partner is going to be my Twiggling Elbe when she comes in, but they were so cute, and I think Amelia is young and has quite the crush on Sion. So I don't know if he necessarily reciprocates, likes her and that sort of thing, but she crushes on him hard. And this was when I made Amelia her outfit, which she is actually not wearing now because another doll she moved to a different body and it doesn't fit her anymore. But and I'd made her some eyes, which I actually really like those eyes. She gets lots of different eyes. I've changed her eyes a lot. So they're little cuties. These were the pants that I made for her. So here was an updated dolly list. It's July 14th and it's already out of date. Some dolls were sold and some new ones came in. But yeah, I'm sitting right around 30 dolls right now. I don't know. It depends on whether you're counting the pet dolls. Some people don't count those as BJDs, so, but right around 30. Here I had the dates written, and I did a lot of writing and little updates and kind of inserted some tip-ins with photos, but lots of writing here. That's why this journal covers a lot more time, because instead of every day having its full spread, which I was doing a lot of earlier, this is like a week, you know, of little bits of things, and that's just because my work schedule was so busy. So a little bit of ramblings and journaling, talking. The colors are very vibrant with the watercolor washes, with those new upgraded watercolors that I have. Here was when I made a crochet outfit for Lark, and I thought he looked like Harry Potter. Herla trying on corsets that my friend Miss Mantis had sent. Blabbering and just all kinds of things written here, thoughts and daily things and projects. But you can see, like, this was a week, just over a week of just writing. Here's a little bit more things going on, then doing a little bit of lettering. This is when I bought my Chiwu from Heather. Little just fooling. I think I got in my ink. Yeah, I gotten in my ink, so I was playing with my fountain pens here, I think for the first time, and really making a big mess where they bled through. The ink that I got, it's a Noodler's ink, but it's partially water resistant, not completely, so there is some bleeding. You have to be, if you wet the page from the behind even, a little closer. Maybe that makes things a little more visible, I don't know. But yeah, do not buy any more dolls this year. And then I think, and later that same day, and then I talk about how basically I ordered Chiwu from Heather, bought her elf Chiwu, and ordered the Larry ahead. And as I said, I got the Noodlers ink. This was it's like a purpley blue color, which is really pretty. And I thought that I read that it was bulletproof, meaning waterproof, and then I then this happened. You can see where it just kind of bled, because I did a watercolor wash on the next page and it made it bleed, just soaking through the page, and you can see where it kind of like stuck to this other page too. So I went back and read, and it's not 100% waterproof. It's not 100% bulletproof. It's only partly bulletproof. So yeah. So really, I mean, I'm still using it in my fountain pen, but it has to be it has to be where the front and back page they're not going to get wet, where everything is not, it's not going to get re-wetted, where I'm not going to be doing any more watercolor washes or watercolors over it or around it. So that was kind of me playing around with that, because I was getting my fountain pens in and then in the ink. More like just writing, daily writing, lots of writing. I was more in a writing mood, so things went slower. I wrote very tiny with a really tiny little pen, so didn't take up as many pages as I was. Still putting in some photos. I started taking smaller photos and kind of taping them or gluing them in. Here's some bigger ones, and I think this is really pretty, but it really does, the pages don't lay flat after that. And here I was talking about Lady and about my kind of plot and story ideas about her. Here was a page devoted to Chiwoo's arrival, and when I sewed this vest for him, he arrived in pieces, so I had to put him together, which was great for bonding, and it went really smooth. But that was, what was that, Monday, August 15th. So not a lot of drawing. The washi tape is still really using a lot of washi tape. Started more of this taping in, of gluing in little pictures and writing around them and writing little sections. Kind of did fooling around with some different formats. The illicit dolls. Oh, yeah, right after I'd made this vow that I wasn't going to be getting any more dolls for this year, I found this twiggling body for ridiculous price that I just couldn't pass up, and so I got that. I got a new body for Maria, a doll in mine body. I got a soul doll body for my soul doll Ahiel centaur girl. I got her a human body that I ordered in. I put Karsh on layaway, Feeple 60 Karsh, which at this point I was thinking might become Amergen. That didn't end up being the case because the sizing wasn't right either. He couldn't be Amergen either for SD Alondria or MSD. He was just, the 60 centimeter size is not suitable. Too big for MSD and too short for SD. Here, I really decorated these pages, and I didn't end up, I think I reserved this space. I was going to write some things and I never came back to it. But I decorated it. I had finished this picture of Alondria. It's a Copic marker illustration I did in my Moleskine, and I took a picture of it and put it in my doll journal. This is Alondria's deer form, which I have shown in some other videos. This was a page spread that I think I showed on my Instagram, and this was when there's lots of things going on, lots of writing, and I'm talking about who Alondria is going to be. Is she going to continue to be the blue ombre? Is she going to become the white ombre? Is she going to upgrade to an SD size and be the sleeping ingenue? So this was me, kind of this journal entry, and it's just kept adding more things. I drew all these knots, these Celtic knots. I started drawing more Celtic knots in here's some Celtic spirals that I did in here on this, and some peacock feathers. So I really like this page. I think it was a pretty page, but it was me talking about what I wanted to do character-wise with Alondria and shelling her in her doll form. Many of you know how that story eventually went. I sold my blue ombre. Trinity became, her character was coalesced with Alondria, which worked really well. And Sleeping Ingenue became Alondria too. So I have two Alondrias, MSD form and SD form, and I wasn't going to make myself choose. And that's okay. They're my dolls. I can do that. Here was a little spread that I did on Herla. I had made her, I'd made flower crowns. I finally had made flower crowns, and I really like how hers turned out. So basically some talking about her. Oh, here was a little illustration. I don't know if you can see that I did of Herla in her deer form that I did on the back of this photo. And that was kind of my intention with a lot of these tip-ins, was that they were spaces for me to do more journaling, add more pictures, draw pictures in, and so a lot of ways I had intentions to come back and do little doodles in these, and I haven't, and I'm moving forward with my journals, so at some point you have to call it done. Well, I can't remember who I was talking about. The greatest enemy of done is perfection. Perfection makes you never get anything done, so you have to be happy with imperfection if you want to get things done. And that really, in a lot of ways, helps me. I gotta keep that in mind. At some point, you just have to move on, because there's other things you need to work on, and you just keep going ahead. You keep plugging ahead. Here was more talking about Alondria. Her character, the pants I had been working on for her. So I did this kind of little book of flipping pictures of photos of the pants. This is like the last of this, because this was so big and thick, it really makes these journals not lay flat. And I've said that again and again, but I probably will be doing this sort of thing less and less because of that. I like things to lay flat. Alicia, her human body came in. She was super cute. She came in pieces. It took me like 2 hours to put her together. I could not figure out how to string her. Her stringing is very strange. And the website, the Soul Doll website, is not helpful at all. It says to email them. And I'm like, well, they're in China or Korea. I can't remember where Soul Doll is. And they weren't going to be answering me at that time of day. So I pushed ahead on my own. Here was when I put CERN in this sweater this knit sweater that I bought him, along with this hat, and he's still wearing that. Made him some jeans. Oh, just fun. Alondria, this is where I just kind of actually just made the decision here, you know, when I was writing these pages and decorating these pages, that Alondria, that my Sleeping Ingenue SD doll was Alondria too. A little bit of story stuff going on in here, which is really hard to read because of how dark the inks were. But some ideas that I had in mind for story, and Lady and Alondria, and Alondria's relationship with Woden, because she has a past with Woden too. He entered into her story since she was a baby, basically. So here, these last pages, I liked how they turned out with the text and the decorations. Here was the tree. This was a short story here, actually. I really like how this page turned out. This is one of my favorite pages. It doesn't have any photos, but it was this background painting of some magnolia flowers that I had done, and then I went over it with some washes, and I just really, really like how that turned out. I think it's very pretty. This one's interesting. I think it's a little busy. If I was going to go back over it, which I won't at this point, I would probably add in some darker stains to mute out the bright colors so they're not so bright, so saturated. And I really liked how this last page turned out too. I went over it with a lot of purple washes with browns, and there's a an oak leaf with some acorns, and more story stuff. It kind of was a little story here. Kind of got it out, wrote it in just like an outline, brief form. Okay, well, put that back in there, and so that's the end of that. This was, I didn't have a date on here, but it was mid-September-ish. And all right, thanks guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like these videos, please let me know if you want to see more. I made 2 today, and I probably won't show my next journal more until I'm finished with it, which I'm not, so, but I might do a journal with me. Those are fun. I like watching those, so I figured I would make one, like a journal with me video where I just kind of show me decorating a page in my journal. So, all right. Well, take care, guys, and have a happy Monday.